Mark, you ready? Ready to roll?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Call the meeting to order at 6:02. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Statement of public notice, the agenda was posted on the internet and at the town hall. Roll call, everybody's here except, what's his, our new guy. Can't remember his name is.
God,
That's it.
I forgot as well.
Yeah,
Forgot what,
you know,
guy. Our new guy.
the new guy, yeah.
on the name?
Yeah.
You'll take a motion to adopt the agenda as posted.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Approve the prior minutes of 8/6/2024. Oh, motion to approve that.
I make a motion to approve those minutes of 8/6/2024.
Second.
Motion made and seconded.
Do we have a copy of those?
Uh,
I only saw them via email and I never saw the final
There's
version.
one printed here.
There's no printed version.
I don't think there's a,
I would ask them to print the version.
I didn't see any.
I wasn't here anyhow, so I'm not going to vote on it.
Okay. So. Motion made and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
Chris,
I did.
Chris and Jeff. Okay, Lee, you're up.
All right, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. The 2024 road project is substantially complete, so we'll be wrapping that up with the contractor. Any questions on that?
Yeah, you can talk to the contractor about this culvert back here and all the shit that's laying in it from pushing it around with the loader.
So the culvert needs to be cleaned.
Which color?
The stuff we sent on the north side of the shed.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Whatever you wanna call it, the road to the shop.
Oh, okay.
Okay, got it. Anything else on that one? All right, hearing none.
There's still, they still have signage out there for 20 miles an hour speed limits, and there's streets, there's signs that they left out there for, no parking on the roads.
Oh, okay, so
No,
they need to clean up their signs.
Correct.
They need to pick up their signs,
Okay,
because we're gonna start mowing.
And I would like to note that I really dislike these contractors leaning their signs up against the building. That's all that's gonna do is scratch the paint off of our siding. And maybe what we wanna put up some posts and throw a pallet against it or something, to lean those signs against when contractors do that.
Would, up here? What signs are they leaving behind?
Occasionally I've seen it, it's been our people too, occasionally we end up with signs left up there leaning against the building.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
even put a couple of stakes there. And throw a pallet over the top. So the pallet will take the lean there. So it's, you know, the edge of that aluminum can be a little bit sharpened. Those things-
That's all fine. We'll see if people are smart enough to use that.
How much are the instructions?
Just a comment on the seal coating, they did a great job and, came out and swept the roads and cleaned up the parking lot up here. Which Teresa I think is happy about. And, so we just gotta get the signs picked up and clear our roads off. We don't need a second sweeping.
Okay,
So Mike and I ran the roads.
Yep.
A couple weeks ago when we did the road project stuff, so
Is that the new guy's name?
Mike,
Mike?
yep,
he was here a couple meetings ago.
yeah, he was here. He was here. He was
Sorry,
here.
it wasn't up and back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, 144th project, or Lee?
Yep, we're still getting the paperwork together with the developer. That'll probably happen this week. And we anticipate probably a pre-construction meeting by next week to get that project rolling.
Okay. Do they have a drop dead? For the into construction up there, or?
Well, any paving has to be done by October 15th. So that's really the deadline
Okay,
for whatever they're gonna do. So I think they have time to get that done yet if they get started soon.
yeah,
So that's the hope.
okay,
County is figuring out. Working until November 1st on County A,
November 11th.
November 11th.
one, yeah, they're gonna be pushing it. So. Okay. Road damages. Nothing I see out there, that I've been over the roads. Looking good. Lot of trees on that last storm we had, especially the 5 o'clock AM one, Todd was out there at 3 o'clock in the morning. Running roads and checking, and then when he was actually caught in that 5 o'clock storm, and he said it was very bad. He wasn't quite sure if he was gonna live through it or not, because the way trees were falling down out there, so. And then I spent, till 2:30 that day running roads for him, as he was trying to clean up different areas, so. There's still some debris out there that has to be cleaned up yet, so.
Is there a timeline on when Willow River is probably gonna have everything cleaned up in the town? Is anybody talking to them? Chris? Isn't Willow,
That's a great conversation. I wasn't told to call them for anything. So the storm damage must have been handleable by Todd, right?
Yeah, the storm damage was handled by Todd.
all by Todd?
Yeah,
Must have been worse on this side.
So
Yeah, that bad.
Willow River was on Rolling Hills? Or was it Trout Brook? Today I just came back from Hudson or whatever,
Trout
Trout Brook.
Trout Brook.
I asked them to do that and then I asked them to do,
37th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So has anybody said anything about that tree that went across 60th and outside Mark's driveway? I just opened up the road, so it was 11-inch poplar or whatever, no big deal, but there it lays from a week ago that's still in the
well,
ditch.
we've had a tremendous amount of trees go down. So Todd's out there trying to trying to do what he needs to do to clean the stuff up. That's what I just said.
Yep.
So 50th Street, River Road, Truck Brook, wherever. I covered this whole town. Todd had one of his workers out there that helped him saw and get debris off the road. They had the truck out there. They hauled up. So there's still a lot of cleanup that has to be done yet. So just be patient with it.
The original question I had, Bob, was, is there a timeline when we think that the storm damage will be done? Is it this week? I was asking a simple question.
I haven't talked to Todd this week
Okay,
because of my medical stuff going on. So
I guess
haven't-
we don't put a timeline on because they know we expect them to get it done.
as promptly as possible.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then while we're discussing that, I also got called about a sightline issue with you're sitting at Valley View and looking east, the sight line going south along there. I told them to cut that stuff down too on shop.
Okay,
I have some work for Todd to do, but I wanna do it within the next month, so I'll get Todd out there and maybe we can, time wise, he can do it while he's working out at my place. I'll give him a call tomorrow.
he's got other stuff going on out there that him and I and Teresa already have set in for shouldering and all that stuff. So he's been working on all this stuff. And the thing is that trying to get the trees picked up in the ditch and hauled off the blills up there in Somerset. And if it's rain, they can't get in there with the truck to dump because they get stuck. So I have to wait till it dries out. So I have an appointment tomorrow morning at the U and I'll get a hold of Todd tomorrow and find out what's going on. So
no, we did get 3 inches or 5 inches in 2 storms in 3 days, so. No, we got
yeah,
a nice amount of rain.
I came home from vacation and my rain gauge was right at the top. I couldn't see the level. It's like pulled it out of the holder and it spilled off the top.
yeah, so. Okay, so discuss the seal coat for roads. You have some verbiage that
I sent some verbiage to the attorney to review at the last board meeting. The board asked that the attorney and I work together on that verbiage. I've sent that to the attorney to review, waiting for him to get back, and then that'll get forwarded to the board.
okay. Okay, thanks, Lee.
Yep.
And we'll move on signage issues. Right now, everything's caught up out there as far as street signs. There's a few that I'll be doing next year, but very minimal. Other than that, I've ordered a few stop ahead signs because there's places that are going to need when they come to an intersection and there's no stop ahead sign and it's kind of a blind area. I'm gonna put some up, so it's all safety. So anyhow, all right, let's see, who's on the traffic report?
Jeff,
Jeff, are you on traffic report?
Well, I helped place the traffic counters. We set it up down in what was that, Church Street we set it up on, Mark, right before you left?
State Street.
Or State Street, yes, down in Holton. And well, Mark was on vacation. I left that there for about a week and then I moved it over to Holton School Circle. And it was there for a little over a week. I did stop by and check on them every couple of days, make sure they were still in place. And then I moved them over to River Road. And they were there for about 8 days. And I've got the equipment in the back of my truck and Mark will pull the data off the counter and present it, I assume, at the next meeting in September.
I will pull the data off and format it and everything, and then email the reports out.
So you also did truck work?
Yes.
Mark was around truck work too. So Chris, the board is, Art also set, putting weight restrictions on, River Road with this construction going on.
Absolutely, yeah, the county knows that.
All right,
The county's putting them up.
the county's put that on. Okay. So, all right, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, let's see, where is so Lee, you're up on the mailboxes.
Yes. Mr. Chair, members of the committee, I did forwarded some language that could be added to the ordinance. I also copied the attorney on that. I've not heard back from him. It's pretty straightforward though, so I'm not anticipating any comments from him. But basically, I identified the area where I think it makes sense to put it, which is under the cul-de-sac part of the ordinance 149, where it talks about cul-de-sacs. And basically the language is mailboxes and cul-de-sacs will be clustered in cluster box units. CBUs can be sized from 4 to 6 mailboxes per pedestal. CBUs will be located approximately 30 to 40 feet before the cul-de-sac on the left side of the road as traveling towards the cul-de-sac. And refer to the town standard detail plate RD 26, which I also included, which basically shows that cluster in the location that I just described. As well as the little bump out, pavement bump out that goes up to the mailbox cluster with dimensions.
Okay,
Don't see any dimensions on that bump out. As far as the width there.
As far as the width,
3 feet.
yeah, we can add that in there. That's good catch.
There's a question that keeps popping in my mind as we've been discussing this over the past few months. Kind of two different motivations going on from the city standpoint. It's make it easier to plow. From the post office standpoint, it's easier to deliver mail to one spot as opposed to stopping at 4 or 5 or 6 mailboxes. But my question is, so you've got a dual purpose there, but my question is who's going to, or are we just gonna kind of leave it up to the residents to figure out who's gonna be responsible for shoveling it out and cleaning it out? The plow goes by my mailbox, I go out there with the snow blower and the shovels or whatever, and clear out my mailbox, so. Is there a definition on that, or is that just something the neighbors work out?
That's rural life.
Part of the reason for putting it where it is because when the cul-de-sac gets plowed out with a pickup, it's pretty easy to go past the mailbox and plow that out with the smaller plow.
Yeah.
So I don't see a big issue.
So you're thinking the town will do that?
I think the town will take care of most of it. And hopefully there'll be a resident there. They may come out and do a little cleanup or, do what's necessary. It's not like the big trucks are going to go by and just leave a huge plow drift there.
Who was responsible for the CBU? The developer?
Developer.
Should that be in here on the language?
Hmm.
Because if I was a developer, I would tell you to go pack sand.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's the
developers
language.
do the
Oh.
single ones, don't they?
yeah,
But I don't know.
Mailboxes?
Yeah.
I don't think that's very typical,
Hmm.
unless they want all the mailboxes to be the same.
And this is gonna be a front load.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of developments where they do put them in and, but then they'll put in something fancy.
Right, they
But it-
want them all to be the same.
Yeah, but I think that's
Otherwise,
another
they would
thing that
leave it
should
up.
be in here. It should be
Yep, I can
the
add that language.
responsibility of the
I
developer
think,
to
I
put it
think you
in.
should, so it's black and white.
Yep,
Yeah,
good call.
It's a good discussion because, you know, let's take the orchards, those are all identical, so. Did Mike volunteer to do that? Did the HOA bring that up, or did we bring that up? A lot of unanswered.
and I think the developers will like this because it's only one footing that they have to put in. You know, if they like putting in mailboxes for their developments, it's one spot.
One spot.
Takes care of it.
The town didn't require that in the orchards.
Then Mike operates first class. then.
Yeah,
Yep, he made a decision.
some guys will do that. Some won't. Lee, does it have to go in? I'm trying to think where else it might have to be stated as far as installations required or something, or is that?
Probably
what
put
this
that in the
is?
development contract. We can
Okay,
add it to the development agreement.
so. This is perfect, 144th. Is this gonna be in it or out of it?
Still in the draft stage.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yep.
Which
Because you're
gets signed
adding what?
first.
Huh?
Trying to think, you're adding two. Trying to remember off the top of my head, I think there's gonna be two existing lots, right? And then two new ones.
Mhm.
A little different situation. Well, and that development agreement is
Are we talking
about to be
44?
signed, and this is not.
Well, then we'll let it go,
I
that's
think
fine.
so.
So,
I think on this one, there's
anything
One
that's
forty-four?
Yeah,
still has an agreement,
it's gonna be.
like we got.
Oh, I'm not nailing nobody to the cross,
No,
it's
I know that.
just a discussion, right?
Yep. Want clarity.
Yeah, good one. For
And this
sure.
will be, this will be included in chapter 149, which is our road chapter.
Yep,
On 149th, how many driveways are actually off of the cul-de-sac?
On 144th, you mean?
144th rather. How many? I was up there today, but I didn't.
Well,
know how many.
getting 8 lots out of there or something?
Yeah, but I think,
I think most of them are off of the road.
right,
rather than
I
the
think
cul-de-sac.
I think there's four there. I'd have to.
be the
well, you
existing
know that,
house.
Well, that's the dude that created it.
Right,
I think there'll be three.
tree.
I think just the existing house and then those two on the north side will be actually off the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And we can talk the developer into just putting all his new mailboxes in one spot. Even if they're separate.
Yeah, there are probably two. Doug said.
I think it's not typical that developers installing mailboxes. Those usually get put up by the homeowner. So if this for sure has to go, if this is what we want, has to go in chapter 149, and I'm not sure it doesn't have to go into 168 as well.
Well, I'd put it in the development agreement language.
Putting this in is going to require a
So-
screw type auger. Probably to put the footing in. It's not something that's going to be hand
We
done.
don't need
Right.
to. Can sit here and
Yeah.
hash that out.
No, but that's where you get the developer doing it rather than some homeowner trying to fight his way through it.
The. Off the topic thing that needs to be assembled in there too is. Don't you think that 3-year chip seal is in 149 too, if we accept that?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, it is.
That way when it goes to codification, we get everything together instead of
Okay, so there's 3
costing
of us.
us extra
thinking about
money,
it. Yeah, so I'm asking.
always looking at the dollar. Okay. So. we need a motion for, to the board.
You could make a motion to the board, asking them to review and, accept with the additions that we talked about the dimensions of the bump out and, developer responsible installation.
Since I've been pushing this, I'll make the motion. Make a motion to the board. To accept the current wording. That Lee has supplied for the cluster box units. With the addition of the requirement by town for the developer to install. And for the width of the bump out, the asphalt bump out.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Any more discussion? Hearing none, I call for all in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. I'm gonna move on to completion of work orders, everything. All the work orders have been completed so far, except for some that's still out there, but Todd is still working on. Tractor equipment and maintenance. Update on that, Chris?
The tractor's back. We sent it to Rice Lake. A different service tech. Looked at all of it and discovered that the other service techs were missing some parts when they were reassembling each time, because the first time that it failed, these little parts fell down and got chewed up. So as they ordered parts and did their work or whatever, nobody recognized that these little shims, they keep the axle shaft in its place around the drive gear, so it would walk its way out. The little pieces would get chewed up, the axle would get chewed up, and then it would send the goodies around inside of that drum and kill everything. And they did that, like I said, multiple times. So then we sent it to Rice Lake. They discovered, hey, you're missing some parts. So then they decided, well, let's take apart the right side and, oh, look at that shit. It hasn't exploded yet. So they fixed all that. So they fixed the whole front, drove it for 25 miles and we're confident with it. Now we've been mowing with it for a week or 2 weeks. So
Couple days ago.
the warranty part, that's still up at corporate. I told them I ain't paying for none of it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Did we take on insurance on that tractor? Warranty insurance?
I can't answer that. You know, what, how I expressed my concerns as the supervisor for St. Joe is they were quite shocked when I walked through there with the John Deere rep. And had said, well, I had said, you guys might want to clear this up or there'll be green in the shed.
Okay,
I ain't seen no bill. See,
Is there still like 12K or something of an invoice sitting out there from the very first time?
it's in their hands. They're well aware of it. They're well aware that I denied paying it. The check here has been tore up. And then, it's up to C&H to pretty much come clean. I look at none of this shit was our fault, none. And the telltale signs that our employees did, which was great, was, hey, this is getting wet on the ball and socket of where it turns. And I sent it up there to get fixed, well. Those service techs are the ones that missing the pieces.
So when the original failure occurred. Assuming all the right parts were inside of the unit that failed. Was that inside a warranty? In terms of hours or miles or however?
I believe it was.
Okay. That would be the spot.
You know, and yeah, I don't wanna leave. That we're walked out of the woods yet, I've had. Discussions with them and then. What
Yeah, but-
also has happened is that dealership has admitted there's. A few cases across the country with the same tractor with the same symptoms.
Interesting. Do we have that timeline though, on when it first failed and when we bought the tractor and what the hours were, so we can timeline it so we know for sure we were in warranty? That's all my question.
So I don't have any of them answers. They would have that at the dealership if I asked for it.
Oh, okay.
I don't write any of that stuff down.
You should have the tractor hours because they put that on the report every time they go out.
And we
Yeah,
carry it.
I'm just sharing with you, Chris doesn't
Yep.
do that.
Okay. Maintenance issues not addressed above. Basically. Talked about
There's
road
a-
stuff and,
Hey, Bob, there's a pretty good, I think I mentioned it last time, there's still a pretty good washout right at the junction of Fox Ridge and Valley View on the would be the west side of the road going down into the culvert. It's pretty eroded there.
Yeah.
It needs to be filled in with
Yeah.
class 5 and
Yeah.
that, they know about that spot?
Yeah.
Okay,
so. It's on our list to do.
okay.
Yep. Okay. So Chris. I put on the agenda, new tractor costs.
Yeah,
So
I didn't bring that with me, but I have that cost. So it's laying on my desk.
do you have something on cost of what it costs? If
Yeah.
we did buy a new tractor
Yeah,
with the new Tiger more?
yeah, I didn't bring it with. I'll submit it and
Okay,
everybody can have a
I
copy.
was just, I had a short discussion with Wally Newton from Somerset and, supposedly they paid, I'm just throwing out this figure, $172,000 or something like that for their tractor with the Tiger more.
Yeah.
And also a Star Prairie just bought one.
Yeah.
Through this guy that
Yeah,
buys tractors and leases them and then. They paid $165 for theirs, but depending on what they got for equipment and as far as this, I think they probably got a Tiger too, so.
Yeah.
Is that guy that deals in Tiger mowers only or?
this is a full John Deere dealer and it is that rep.
Oh, okay,
Who subsidizes the leases? Is it John Deere?
This guy does. So we'll get into the works on that. That's where we need to talk about this is I look at it as. You're crawling in bed. With a lease, with this guy. That's what they did. They didn't write a check. So,
okay,
great guy. I did not obligate us to anything. It's a case of. This guy knows municipalities, found a nice little honey hole, municipalities. Leasing is 100% to a municipality, not on your books. It's on his books. And then you lease it for X amount of money. And then at the end, oh gosh, we like this thing or it's a lemon. Then there's a balance at the end. Right, so,
Okay.
Buy it.
yeah, so I don't like that, but I didn't speak for us. So,
Well, there's other factors inside of at least two that need to be looked at too, like the money factor, which is your interest rate
and
calculation.
I think the trade to him, I'll bring the paperwork in, I think it was kind of weak, but whatever.
I don't think there's an advantage of trading in against the lease.
Well, I'll show you this stuff. I didn't retain all, I don't.
Yeah. So I just thought I'd put this on for our discussion for, and if you need help, negotiating something, I am willing
Oh,
to do it.
I will not do anything till I bring you some numbers.
Yeah, okay,
And I look at it as a long range thing, a couple of things for our budget. For 2025 and into the future, and then. Is this something we wanna do?
yeah,
I guess the telltale, this is me on the equipment side of things is, if that thing gives us no qualms. The rest of the fall. And we look at the numbers, well. Do we keep it another year, or do we unload it, is what I mean, and back to the budget part.
yeah. It's, to me, it does, running the old John Deere for all the years what we did. Yeah,
Completely different beast.
oh, I know, really. Guess what? I went to Cumberland 2 weeks ago. And guess what? Here's our tractor cutting the trails. That's what we sold it for. When we traded it in, they bought it for cutting their trails and it's still going. That's 25 years plus. That tractor's still going. With the,
So are you,
with the tire board.
that's when they were built.
And I'm still going to it. And I'm gonna keep going. So.
Oh, good one.
But I just look at. The telephone calls we've been getting with the tractor down and all that stuff. I know we can't help it. But, you know, people are out there going, why aren't the weeds cut? Why aren't the weeds cut? You know? And we can tell them, you know, it's broke down, but. How many times are we gonna tell them and embarrass ourselves by telling them it's broke down again? And
Well,
we need to move forward on something new that's gonna give us a better service. And
I think
The
I
future.
disagree. I'm with Chris. You run that thing until you've got some major
guess-
issues. That thing could have been fixed properly if it'd been Rice Lake the first time. Apparently somebody up in wherever,
St. Croix
they didn't, the St. Croix Falls didn't watch their YouTube videos, so.
you know, and as far as, yeah, so you man some phone calls, the girls in here give me all the phone calls. And I simply tell them, you've had a toaster go bad, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, yeah, wow, they make a connection. Well, what did you do to get by? Did you have toast or did you move on to something else?
Yeah.
When the tractor's broke,
so,
we're just
Whatever.
trying to do our best.
so if you can bring those figures in, so
Yeah.
you can kind of go over them and. Are you planning on putting something in the budget? A figure that, you know. We gotta do our budget tonight, but
Oh, well,
we
then
can,
I guess to be safe, probably 200.
yeah, so let's do that in the budget this year.
Huh?
And, you know, cause we're gonna get something for the old one. If we trade it, if, you know, if things go through, so. All right. Lee, I'm holding you, cause I wanna kinda go over the seal coat crack seal stuff with you when
That's
we
under
do
the
the budget,
budget, right?
if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Okay, summer maintenance, potholes. Shouldering, Todd and I and. Have gone out and checked all the. Different areas. We've worked east side of Bass Lake and, we worked everything from. 138th all the way down to this River Road area for shouldering, and we had extra money in the budget because we had money left over from snow plowing, so we could use that to upgrade what we needed to do and keep moving forward. And what we did this year, we won't probably have to do next year or minimal amount, so that's what I'm looking at, so. Anyhow, gravel road maintenance, there'll still be, Smitty's will still be doing Troutbrook North. Grading it, that's the agreement that Teresa's made with those residents up there that it'll get graded, and I was on it like the last week, and it's needs some gravel and some grading done, so with washouts and stuff, so. Anyhow, weed removal and spraying, the spraying that we did last spring really helped us out where we didn't have to mow, but now there's like, if you go on Valley View Trail right now, we got weeds that are 2.5, 3 feet tall. We have a invasive species that came from Europe, China, whatever, and it's used in prairie grass and stuff like that, so.
It is prairie grass. It's native. I don't think it's invasive. It's not
Yeah.
a weed, it's a grass.
Yeah, but it's
Probably cost you about $100
it
to buy
has-
one of those plants
it
at
has
a
a root
nursery.
system of 6 feet,
Yeah,
according to Lee,
Prairie grasses do.
and
you know,
so what happened when it was dry? We didn't see it, but now we're seeing it because we get more moisture, so.
But a good root system like that will hold the ditches too.
Yeah.
It needs to be mowed, but it'll hold the ditches. It's good for
Yeah.
keeping things from washing out.
So our whole basis of spraying in the spring in May. And on the roads that we did do, held the grass down, killed some of the grass that we don't want. And the objective was to do that in the spring, so we didn't have to mow during this for the spring season, but the fall season, we still have to mow. And the thing is that with winter coming on, and we don't know what that's gonna bring, but my whole objective out there mowing for the years I did was to make sure we get far enough out in the ditches, so when the snow is blowing across Valley View Trail or 85th Street, whatever, it can get off the roads. So. Anyhow,
Just a side note, it looks like the county is way behind on their mowing.
so they're sure. They keep,
gave up.
they keep redoing and redoing out here.
They're doing everything they're doing a lot of work on roads, but they're not doing anything with mowing, it seems.
Yeah. So I don't know, so.
Great moisture year, for sure.
Okay, we'll move
It's not
on
gonna
to the
snow, so they're gonna mow during.
expenses
Watch.
to date, so. Anybody have any questions on what's going on there? Any questions on that? Yeah, Joe.
Got a question for you, Bob.
Yeah,
Is there a chance that you could put public comment in front of the setting of the 2025 budget? Just move those two around, 12 to 11, 11 to 12?
yeah, we could do that.
I have a couple of items in public comment that might pertain to the budget.
Okay,
Thank you.
oh, go ahead.
No, you gotta go through 24 expenses and to date and,
Well, that's what we're looking at right now.
okay,
So,
you want me to go ahead?
yeah, go ahead.
The two items that I got on public comment. Latest article that just came in the Hudson paper. That they're trying to put forward a $250,000 budget for the next 2 years. For ash tree removal. So I think we should talk about that, and they're trying to bring that up to the Hudson City Council. But that's a lot of money that this emerald ash stuff that we got to take care of in the next few years. I think we should talk about it when we talk about setting our 2025 budget.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I was gonna
Bring up,
bring up and increase. We spent a lot of money on trees, just falling down trees, but we also have trees that are going to have this ash borer that we're gonna have to remove from the ditches. Other trees that, so I'm looking at increasing increasing the budget for both Tuma and Willow. So,
Okay.
when we get to that part,
that's why I wanted to, that article is in the Hudson Star Observer right now that should just take a peek at.
yeah,
I mean, I got 7 trees that I'm taking out on my property and 3 of those are ash trees and they're adult trees. Willow River is gonna be doing the work, but.
Yeah.
The second item I got, I don't see anywhere on the meeting minutes or agenda or anything, is this safety over here on this new building next door. There's no fencing around it. Yeah, there's a little signage on it. The stabilization on that organic piece that's hasn't been touched in more than 7 days, so. Me coming from 42 years in the construction trade. That's a liability that's right across our parking lot right now and nobody seems to care.
I did have that discussion. at
Thank
our-
you.
At our Thursday meetings
Yep,
and. You saw their reaction.
really. Okay, so,
They put a little yellow ribbon around it, a couple pallets propped up. And that was their reaction
That's
after
the,
my meeting.
that's the contractor's reaction to what you talked to him,
Yeah,
okay?
While I appreciate your concern, that's out of bounds for our committee.
yes,
It's right away, roads and right away, and the town property is out of bounds? Enough said,
It's.
I won't mention it
You and I
again.
can talk later, but
Yep,
I would suggest that's something to go directly to the town board with.
I
it
went,
is, it was.
I brought it up at the last month's meeting.
I sit on the board for the building and I brought it up.
Yep. I won't ask any more questions.
So do you feel it's adequate? What Rick's talking about? Do you feel what they did is adequate?
No, not at all.
So
but-
can't we just tell them what we want and have them put it up? I mean, can't we suggest something a little more substantial, I guess, in a polite way?
We're Public Works. It's out of our jurisdiction.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I have lots of comments, but this ain't the time to do it.
so it's.
Okay.
That would be board action to the contractor.
And we did.
It's just,
You got yellow tape.
that's not the engineer's
Okay.
nothing to do with the engineer rate.
So the
Well,
architect would make sure that the contractor's doing what the board
The
asked.
Yeah.
Stan Tech was
Okay.
here and present when we were discussing.
All right.
it.
Okay. Because they would fall under OSHA law too if something happened big time, so.
I picked up on him with liability and exposure and brought it to my colleagues and
It's DNR and it's OSHA,
Didn't
the
go over.
entities that are involved, that would be involved.
Right.
and I would say, I do believe to further the discussion and cap it off is the well driller will be out here this week and so will the plumber.
Okay.
So you may see some sort of silt fence or something like that.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, let's, one other issue, we've new maps in front of us. They brought for everybody with the, new subdivisions on it and, different roads and some of the stuff that's going to be in the also the maintenance projects or what we're gonna seal coat and crack seal, so.
Lee, on your map,
Which one? The roadmap?
roadmap, yes. The new
View Trail.
road at the end of 60th Street doesn't have a name on it.
You are right.
I presume that is named.
That should have a name on it.
I know there's no street sign out there, because I don't think the town has accepted that road yet.
No.
No,
No. It's not accepted yet.
but we will make sure that that name is on there once it is.
Because it's not 60th Street there.
Nope.
What did we do the other day with the developer?
Say it again.
What did we do the other day with the developer? I thought we did accept it.
On Artisan Farm,
Yeah,
they're working on getting the plat signed. So.
So no. So. We can get, did you bring extra maps for the office too?
I have a couple extra here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need. First, we need one to go on the tractor for the drivers to
yeah.
do subdivisions. Two.
There's
So
an
we can-
extra set over there too.
Mm-hmm.
We've
So-
got 3.
One of them,
And if you want a big one, usually we've got a big one hanging here somewhere. Can do that too.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Cool, let's. Venture into our budget, here. Mark, I thought Teresa was gonna be here, but you don't have your computer either, do you?
No, I don't.
So.
There are no road projects slated for 2025. Is that correct, Lee?
Like reconstruction or construction's not that I'm aware of, not at this point.
So basically it's crack and seal coat,
Right.
right?
it's an election year, we're not borrowing money.
The way it's going, 144th might be a project for next year.
That's not our problem.
True.
So anyhow. Let's go through number 1. Let's leave. You see, the 2022, there was money put in for culvert reimbursement, street sign, whatever. Basically what that is town buys the sign, the culverts and signs and then charges them back to the developer, so it's basically a wash. So. Where do you go?
You don't budget it. You just,
No,
it's good what it is.
no budget, no.
What item were you on?
First one. Line item 3,
Oh, it's not budgeted.
right?
That's a line.
It's
Culverts.
just reimbursables.
Yep.
So under the number 7. I'm gonna stay with status quo on that, this $750.
May I make a suggestion? Take the 2024 budget and take that out to 2025 and add 10%.
%10 increase on what?
Every line item that's 2024 and just put a 10% increase to the 2025 budget.
But.
That's just a suggestion.
Hmm.
But it don't work that way.
Okay, no, enough said.
You're looking at,
Not actual.
Budget.
it's not gonna work for everything,
Okay,
you know what I mean?
yep,
We just go line by line then, please,
Line by line.
Yep.
using the last digit or last 2 digits.
All right. So let's see here, where are we at now?
The routine and emergency maintenance. Let's make it 775 or 800. So we spent. Oh. I see, there is no budget for that.
So there is no budget for that.
Okay, never mind.
There is nothing put under. It was actually whatever the 750.63 was spent in 24 for that purpose, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
So culverts is a wash. Number 8. Grading gravel and shoulder, so if you look at your actuals for 24,
Hmm.
you got $4,000.
Budget.
That was the budget, but the actual was 22,763. Now that includes shouldering that Todd does, gravel that he would add to different, because the gravel that Todd buys is charged, not charged through him, it's charged to the town. So that's why it's different than
So.
what you're looking at.
for the last
Budget
two,
4,000 then.
for the last 2 years, we've spent 22,000 something on. Grading gravel shoulders.
Yeah,
I would say we need to put in at least, budget at least 20,000 for that to be realistic.
just.
I have a
we have
question.
not-
Is there a
We have
discrepan-
not been, we were not realistic on $4,000 on that.
No,
Close.
she went 20.
Let's go 20 and at least we're gonna be close.
Well, it was similar to 22. There was a wide gap between the 2 numbers. I'm just curious to know why there's such
Yeah.
a wide gap. Is that because materials weren't included in the difference between
Yeah,
the?
it's the materials that Todd would buy from the rock places, that would be charged directly to the town. It wouldn't be charged through him.
Okay, so that doesn't show up, that material cost doesn't show up anywhere else.
No,
So we were way off and for 2 years on that.
oh yeah. So,
So 22.5.
You want to go 22.5?
23,
Say 23. myself.
23.
We're right there. That's 2 years
Okay, yeah,
and it won't get cheaper.
Yeah,
yeah, 23.
all right.
23. Here,
If you think we're in good shape for next year, that,
Yep,
At least
That's
start
probably-
there.
that's a realistic number then.
yep.
Big discrepancy on the next line, line 10, I guess, maintenance and contractor, big discrepancy between 24 budget and 24 actual.
Yeah.
Not such a big discrepancy the year before. Why is there such a big discrepancy in 24?
So then I think that it would just leave it at 60,000. That would be,
Yeah,
that would be my,
What is that
that's,
maintenance contractor covering?
yeah,
Yeah, what?
I believe that,
What is that covering?
that would be whatever Todd does,
That's Todd.
a lot of,
we know we've been keeping him busy all summer.
yeah,
So the stuff that he normally does that is in here, maybe may have gotten tossed into some other budget areas too. like
Yeah, I
tree
think-
trimming or something.
Was that storm, was that a heavy late winter storm on 23, but was that on the 23 budget? I mean, the 23 actual? Or was that this last year? No, 20, when was that
23
bad
is
spring
definitely-
storm?
April 1st,
it was
23.
55,
So that's why it was higher then.
so 63.
Yeah, 24 is
I know.
weird.
I think that got tossed into something else. Had to be,
Yeah,
so let's just leave it at 60. And then,
Doesn't make any sense to leave it at 60.
material, I'd say leave material at 15,000.
wait, hold on here, I gotta go here.
Well, it's kind of, it was right there, 22 and 23.
Paper across here, so.
Oh. Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, oh, I thought that was, the
Material
budget.
folders
I'm sitting
and
here
stuff like
thinking
that,
that's
so-
budget.
Okay,
That's actual, got you.
so we're on number 11 right now.
Yeah, I'd say leave that at 15,000. We didn't spend it all, but with inflation, we're
Yeah.
likely to spend more next year.
Yeah, so let's leave it at. Leave it at 15.
Yeah,
Okay,
I can make a copy of this and send it to Teresa too on mine.
Okay,
So she's got 2 copies and
okay, sweeping, we did more sweeping in 24. Because of. What happened was, when we had
See
the
the program.
extra gravel or sand and salt. The county would not take it back. So what we did was. On our last storm, we went out and spread that on our roads. So that cost us more in sweeping. But I would still say we're, I'd like to see that go up to. Yeah, we're taking over more roads, so let's put that at 9,000.
I'd agree with that.
Okay. Engineering cost, D,
you lower your prices at all? or-
I have a new engineering firm that's twice as good and half the money.
what's that now?
I could only recommend to go for it if that's the case.
Only if they're DEI.
Not my concern.
I mean, look at the old white guys in this room.
We were at
Careful.
18 and 17, we only budgeted.
I resent
15.
that.
There ain't nobody
The old
else.
part.
I resemble
I'll be
that.
There ain't
70
nobody.
this
I
month.
resemble that statement.
To be realistic, we probably need to
Be
be at
offended.
20,
No.
25,000.
Did you bring a
25.
cost for 25?
I was not asked to do that.
Rates are gonna go up.
Do Do you feel that we're going to have more engineering for next year? We don't have any projects other than seal coating.
I wouldn't,
So
I
is
would
that
not,
kind of a hint that we should have asked?
well. Usually if somebody wants a prognostication on what next year is gonna be, I get asked that.
Yeah, there was no agenda that was sent out this month for the meeting. This is,
So what I would
Is it a
say,
surprise
what I
to
would
you?
say
Yes.
is figure 5% increase. But I don't see us doing any more necessarily than the normal general stuff that we do. You know, the projects all get funded through the projects,
So we had 18 and we had 18.
so that's not
I
the number
wonder
you're
why we
talking
lowered
about
it to
there.
15.
Yeah, that didn't make no sense either.
I think we go back up to 18.
So where are we at?
We
Well,
were at
we
15.
were at 15, but we should bump that.
I don't know, there was a reason why we dropped it down to
So
15.
you want to go 25 in it?
No, there's no projects in
There's no
there.
projects, so
20 though, at least.
Well, okay, there's a difference between projects
Mhm.
and between just the regular everyday stuff that people call us and ask for. Like
This is the
working
regular
on,
day stuff.
like working on the language for the ordinance.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. The projects are
Those
all,
can take a lot of time, can't
they
they?
take a little bit, depends, but
18. we had-
the projects are funded by the projects. So that's a
I'd say-
separate,
I don't
I'd
think
say
we're out of
29.
line to say 25.
no, okay.
The 2024 actual plus 5%. Come. Darn it. Comes out to 22,766.
23,
So plus 5%, if we called it 23,000
Yep,
would work.
okay.
that's through the end of this year, or it's year to date,
I'm using
That's-
actual,
that's the
which is year to
25
date.
budget.
right?
yeah.
Well, we've got several months left.
That month, some-
Okay, 25,000.
25. Okay. Okay, signage,
Probably overspent.
yeah, a little bit. But next year, I want to cut that back to. Let's go for 3,500.
You drop it down that much?
We got all
Just
our
to,
idiots under control for parking everywhere.
oh yeah,
Better keep it at 5.
5,
Yeah,
okay.
I should have brought a
Well,
pencil.
there's no 5 anywhere, 22, 23, or 24.
You'll
There's
get
no
a, you'll get a
five.
revised sheet.
I know.
I think it needs to be higher than 5. Doesn't line up with the rest of the year.
oh, I see, looking at the old ones.
Yeah.
You wanna drop it down to 3? Is that what you said, Bob?
No, I think Jeff, you have a good point. Want to make it 8?
I think so.
8,000. Okay. So, we're down to bid outs, seal coat and crack seal.
What do you think, Lee?
Those actual numbers, no, this is budget.
That's on your one sheet there. This one here,
We didn't spend it? I don't get it.
this one here. So Lee, on the first line is 255, 963, 62.
Yep, I would round that, obviously.
Round it out to,
I'd round that off to 260. I mean, at this level, you're way ahead of the game, and by next year, who knows what you're gonna decide to do, and
yeah, so
I mean, this is just an estimate, it's got a contingency in it.
so where should we go? 300,000?
Yeah, I mean, these are the roads that I think you and Mike went and looked at and kind
Yeah.
of decided makes sense for next year.
Yeah.
So yeah, 300,000 is probably covers you to give you flexibility if you decide to add another road or whatever to it.
Okay.
There's, yeah, and that would encompass your alternative if you wanted to end up doing that as well.
This is for line 15.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna go. 300,000 on.
I don't see any, that we spent anything.
So where are we at here? Go to the next one.
Gosh. Why is this, oh, I see.
Legal. We're gonna spend more on legal. Than
What's your legal year to date?
19.6. Okay,
How much?
19.6 thousand.
19,000 for legal?
No, it's 500.
Wait a minute.
Well, we
sorry.
didn't have it.
Wrong line.
we're on legal.
We budgeted 500 and it doesn't show anything.
No, there's a legal, yeah, no, yeah, nothing.
We only spent.
Well, there's gonna be some with, the attorney looking at this ordinance language, you know, so that'll show up next month probably, or the month after.
Yeah,
So you were budgeted 500 for legal?
Mm-hmm.
yeah. To do 1,000?
I would say 1,000 be the minimum I would budget for.
Yeah, I think it too.
I mean, I don't, yeah, I don't know what the attorney charges off the top of my head, but that at least gives you a look, you know, a project like an ordinance review
Something
to
can
cover it.
Needs it.
Yep.
You need at least 1,000, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So,
When it's broke out here on line 17, engineering again, what's that explanation? Or maybe you aren't to answer that.
First of all, I don't have that, so I'm not sure what that is.
What is that?
We've
So we
got,
got two
we have two
engineering
engineering
costs.
lines. You don't
How
know.
much is this one?
19,000,
Yeah,
This is line
Yeah.
what, 17?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got actual of actually close to 40 and 23,
Oh, this is under bid outs.
29. Yes,
oh, that's bid outs.
This is under bid outs.
yes.
Okay,
So this is for,
oh,
so they have, okay, so what they've done is they've split out or at least part of the engineering for routine maintenance and emergency maintenance. I don't know why you'd have it in two places like that, except one is for bidding and one is not.
okay.
We've got lots of engineering coming up here. Oh,
Yeah.
So could we use that figure off of the 20% contingency for
If that's what if that's how they're looking at it, that's what you would do. So
Yeah.
this 26,000. Yeah, this 26,000 doesn't really correspond to this year's project necessarily, so.
well, there's more engineering line items down below as well.
Yeah,
well, that's,
There's 3 more engineering line
yeah,
items.
but none of those have anything in,
That was specifically Church Street.
That was church.
That was a project, so I don't think we need to put anything in
Yeah.
there.
see, if it were me doing this. If I may,
Yes,
I would call one of these, that top one, okay, so it's under routine emergency maintenance / other.
yep,
To me, that it would make sense to have a general engineering line item. For all the different, and which could include this. But to put that word general engineering there makes it a little bit more descriptive as far as, you know, all the little things.
all the dumb shit we call an ass.
All the little things, yeah.
yeah,
And then,
So are you proposing combining these two lines and calling it general engineering?
No. no, I'm just saying you might want to add the
No,
word
that, I should
general.
ask the girls
Oh.
to identify it better.
So
Oh.
53.
And what is, and maybe even talk to Teresa and make sure what does that really mean and what's getting billed to those two things? You know,
Yeah,
when something comes in, what makes them put it up here versus
Mhm.
down there?
You know,
yeah, that's. So. Where do you think we should be on that one? Line 17?
Well,
we
if
don't have an explanation.
if this is really for
40 grand.
the bid outs, then
For the bid outs,
you're looking at 40.
at 40.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's put it in there and then they can figure it out from there.
Yeah.
Administration stuff,
I'm guessing that might be the cost to put it on that website.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's probably
yeah.
what that is.
nothing-
Like-
That was only on,
Like advertising for
Not-
bids.
that was in on 23, but nothing on 24, so.
Yeah, I'd throw $500 in there and you're,
Just
at
leave
least
it.
you got something to put it
Yep.
against.
Yeah.
You got blank,
Contractor.
what'd you put in there
$500.
on administration?
Yeah, on that.
Okay.
I mean, once again, we don't have a 2024 actual, so it's hard to.
See, for 2024, if you look back at that bid outs. For 2024, it was really all up in that 473.
Yeah,
All of that stuff that was broken out in 2023 was up in that big number,
Oh,
473.
no,
See what I'm saying?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Now, then, of course, they started putting it against engineering, that 19,000. So I think it's a discussion with the people in the office as to how is this really getting
counting
allocated,
methods, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
yeah. Right. We'll put it in there and they can change it if they need to.
Yeah.
And then the contractor would be.
And it's a lot easier to just have that all in that big number up top.
Under bid outs.
Under bid outs, if you're gonna go that route where you break it out, then it would be, you know, it's 179.9 right here, so I'd put 200 in there.
Oh, I see, yeah.
If you're doing it that way,
For 2024 budget, they budgeted 473 to cover all of that.
right?
And then they broke it down when they put in actuals.
So if you were gonna be consistent with that. You'd put the 300 up top there like we already talked about,
Yeah,
and that would cover all of that.
yeah,
Like, the 300 is equal to the 473
Yep.
in 2025.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
yeah.
Yep. So,
Okay, so you don't need anything in lines 15 through 19. You can cross out anything you put in those lines.
didn't wear enough,
Lines 15 through 19,
well, 15 to 19.
Oh,
yeah,
so that,
cross out everything below that.
so Lee, are you saying the 40,000 we jotted in on line 17 is already covered in the 300?
Yes, Yep.
Okay, so we're not filling out anything below
you're
that.
just putting the 300 up top.
No legal.
We'll leave
Yeah.
that and see
That's all in there.
where we-
Yeah, see, it's like this.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay,
Because this number
Yeah, down
fills
to
all
winter,
of these
right?
in, 'cause
Okay.
that's where it's budgeted. at
Okay.
that level.
okay, all right. So 15,
What's that come up to?
I'll do a quick add up of those.
3, 8, 7, 2, 40, 440,000.
You're fast.
It's all zeros.
441.
440?
441, 440 and 141.
41.
What I got? Where'd the 100 come from?
Yeah, where'd the 100 come from?
My little fingers, I guess. Okay. Nothing in the next section, that's done, right?
Oh, yeah.
That all the Church Street project, we don't, that's done, right?
Done, I think we just moved to winter.
Yeah,
Which is a.
So we had 34,000 in for salt and sand.
We saved a lot of money last
Where are we
winter.
at now?
Where'd that money go?
Did you get
100.
your total on? that?
We still got
I'm
until
working
December
on-
31st.
Okay.
Yeah, could
Well, there's that.
start snowing on October 1st this
That's
year.
true. I always forget about that.
It looks great right now.
If this
Four
wet
forty.
pattern we're in continues,
Looks snow.
440,000.
Snowy.
yeah.
I have no idea, but I'm just,
consulted the farmer.
440,000.
I haven't looked at the Farmer's Almanac ever.
I think
Okay.
it's gonna be snow.
So we're going on to
Winter.
winter, yeah. On the other side. Good. Or. Winter other, I don't know what that is. Oh,
winter salt and sand.
Well, 23.
total for winter.
Yeah,
Actually,
we had a light winter this year, but I think we need to borrow or budget the same 34,000.
And
I agree.
probably get bumped
not
up a
more.
touch.
between,
Okay.
where are we at now?
Winter salt and sand down by the bottom.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm
38,000,
looking for,
at least
No,
37.
you flipped your page over. You don't flip it over yet.
oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
I don't think we can, I don't think we can realistically budget any less than what we did last year.
no.
Well, we have
And
to
hope to
budget.
get by.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was thinking
Yeah.
37 or 38.
150? What?
Increase.
Yeah, yeah.
What, 150? Or what did you say, Doug? 138?
30, just 38,
38, yeah.
38 for,
salt and sand.
Oh, for line 39. Okay, I got.
38,000.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah, county
Winter, well, that's gonna go up too. We're gonna have, let's call it 10,000.
down. To, make that 85.
85, it's me.
85.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say 90, but
Well, we could do a 90 if you want.
let's go 90 because
I was thinking 90
the
myself.
board isn't gonna raise it. But we're better to be a little high.
Yep.
And if they cut it down, they cut it down, but they're not gonna,
Let's see.
They're not gonna raise it.
This would be
150.
145, 155,
60.
160,000 for Smitty's,
65.
Oh,
65.
do I hear 170?
Okay, make it. Wow, it was one, I'm sorry, I was
145.
looking at this wrong.
So I had 15 grand, I was thinking.
160, Yeah.
160.
160.
That's what I had written down.
Great.
Okay.
Flip her over.
We have more.
Winter other item.
Winter other. I don't know that needs a budget.
I don't get her.
Nope.
Nope.
So now. What we have to do is calculate out what we got between this.
130.
Total winter, okay.
298.
total under.
298 is what I'm coming up with.
298?
Yeah. If my math is correct.
298.
Yeah.
Yep, 298.
Okay. Streetlights,
$3,000.
kick that by $1,000.
Well, our actual is $1,000 under.
Yeah,
Leave it at 3?
Yeah,
keep it at 3.
I wonder if that's, I don't remember how long ago we switched those to LED.
Well, Mike Long was still here then,
Yeah,
so
so it's,
Been a while.
yeah,
saved us some money.
23. Yeah, keeps going down.
Yeah,
For whatever reason.
okay, let's call it,
Garbage.
should we call it 2,500? Instead of 3K, 3,000?
25.
Let's be hopeful.
2,500.
Okay. Next garbage,
That really floats around.
well, what happened in 23 was when somebody took that tote and set it down at the end of, that,
Oh, yeah, hazmat shit.
what you call it, and
Oh.
we got charged because
Ugh.
Hadnat was involved in that, so
Keep it at 3 maybe?
Yeah, keep it at 3.
3. Okay,
Recycling, let's call it 600.
yeah. Okay. Spraying of weeds, I'm gonna kick that to 48, 50.
Well, now with the weeds, a little bit of that was experimental on our part. We just picked a couple of the longer, bigger roads. Are we gonna?
Yeah.
Are we gonna expand that to include other roads and
Yeah,
cut
'cause
down on the
we're gonna-
mowing?
I did guardrails besides this year. Cause all the guardrails that
Was it-
the newer ones on the.
was that a
construction,
kill or just a
stuff
control?
Like that didn't get included.
Are you killing
So-
under the, are you killing the vegetation underneath the guardrails or are you just controlling it?
Well, it'll kill them. So what
That's-
we'll do is this coming spring, we'll actually spray them. So that we kill them before.
Okay, so my question is, are we going to add a bunch of roads to this strategy of keeping the grass growth down as opposed to?
And then if the board what they wanna do, but I think we should do more, you know, like.
That was kind of the idea, wasn't it? If I
Yeah.
remember right, we were
Yeah.
just trying it out to see how it worked for
Yeah.
us
So
and it worked good, right?
we could, yeah,
We're good
it worked
on the
good.
targeted weeds, it worked very well.
Yeah.
So then the question becomes, if it's working well. And it doesn't, we're thinking that it's gonna do, then maybe we're not spending as much mowing,
Yeah,
but we're spending more on weeds.
we spend more on
Spraying.
weeds, so.
At least I think that was the strategy.
Yep.
Considering the tractor this year, it worked well for us.
Yeah,
So let's. You wanna do for 65,
I'd double it
Yep.
up.
65 or 7?
Make it 7.
Let's make it 7.
I think if we are gonna spray, we should be utilizing it for behind all the guardrails.
He talked about that.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
we're talking about, because we didn't do the guardrails. Birch Park, you know, all rocks. I didn't do that this year because the spray has been working great, but the guardrails like 50th Street and some of those that
I don't think
were
that's
old.
enough.
Were constructed that we
We
never
did what
sprayed
we did.
for, then I did so
Valley View.
kick it up to 7,000 and if there's more roads that the board wants to add. For the
60th, I
May
think,
spray
too.
too. So let's
I think they came in front of Mark's.
kick
Yeah.
her up to 7, so.
Down by the Bass Lake.
Is that even
I
enough?
mean, like
Bob?
E up to one
I mean,
fifty.
if we wanna add more roads
Well, we could,
to,
Let's make it
I mean, we
nine,
did three roads last.
let's make it 9 or 10. So we give ourselves.
let's make
some
it 10,
10?
10.
Yeah, the noxious and invasive weeds are not, they're not slowing down.
No, they did a great job next to your place, Mark. I mean,
Yeah,
So,
and you got a tough bank.
That's only because he's on the board.
Out, I noticed it up by my house on 140th. Kept the weeds down good, killed the poison ivy and.
yep. Kills all that stuff. And also includes the parsnip when we do that spray in May. It also includes the parsnip roads, so. We'll keep them going too. Okay, tractor fuel. You leave that at 5, we don't know where the price is gonna go.
yeah, 5 is good.
Yeah, we didn't spend much this year because we didn't mow much.
Yeah.
Didn't have a tractor.
Repair, storage, fuel and supplies. What is that?
It's for your, that's for your depth and stuff like that, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we keeping him here for?
Oh. Say Lee, if you wanna leave, I think
You're good?
Yep,
Through the
we're
hard
good.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
You helped us through the hard stuff.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, sir.
Good luck with the budget.
Yep,
Thanks, Lee.
all
Appreciate
right,
it.
thank you.
Yep.
I believe there was a question that I had for you. I can't think of it now, but when I do think of it, I'll email it to you.
So
Sounds
why do we have tractor fuel and then below we have fuel again and supply?
That's the depth. But they crack it out. So they don't buy it out, and they put fuel in it, we buy it by 55 gallon drums, and they add it here,
Okay,
so that's part of it, but.
Yeah, if you look at 2023 actual, that's what we set the 2024 budget on. So I think we need to probably keep it at 8,000.
Yeah, let's do that.
Cause you're also talking blades, wearable parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can skip that one.
Payroll. How the heck?
Payroll,
It's like we over budgeted on that.
huh? Well, I can understand why
I-
actual is less
I'd keep
than
it the
actual
same.
23.
I'd keep it the same.
Didn't have a tractor
Let's-
or somebody to
let's
put in
just
a
leave it at-
You
tractor.
got 3 guys,
Yeah,
you better,
Is that one more than you had the previous 2?
2 more.
2 more. What do you think?
Leave it at 40.
No, I think 40,000 is where we should stay.
yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
Okay, now we gotta add total weeds and nuisance control.
The
Your mate Lee.
Lighting, everything.
So, got,
23. 55.
another 40, 124.
69,100. Anybody get that?
69, 100,
Yeah,
Gotta be more than that. Or am I?
trying again here.
Starting at line 46?
Yes.
2,500 and 3,000, 55,
55,
61, 71. Oh, wait. What am I doing? Yeah. 6,100. 16,1, 21,1.
I get this- I get it again.
71.5.
What's the lines? I must have a line that's different from other people. I got 2,500.
Yep.
3,000.
Yep.
$600.
Yep.
10,000, 5,000,
Yep.
8,000
Yep.
40,000.
and 40,000.
Yep.
Okay,
Six. $69, 100, is that what you had?
yep,
Okay, that's what I got.
okay.
Okay. Tree cutting. Let's go.
So.
Gonna cut more now with the ash?
Yep.
Yeah, here's where our ash comes in.
So I think, I kicked Tuma up to 40 and, River Valley up to 60. Oh, that was 60.
Does raise a question for me. Is Tuma gonna have the manpower to do this?
Well, Tuma's just been cutting, he hasn't been cutting the big trees like, you know, we would with the ash
No.
and the oak trees and stuff like that, so,
So some of this is gonna be Tuma and some of it's gonna be Willow River then?
yeah.
And that can be flexible. I mean, if it,
Yeah, so
you can
200, yeah.
easily move stuff between those two.
I mean, this year has been,
So we have two lines for, we got trees cutting for Tuma and then we got trees other.
others, River Valley,
Okay,
where they come out and hack the trees down a long way.
why do we have to have two budget lines for the same thing?
Yeah.
Why can't we just say tree cutting?
Yeah.
They like to be specific.
Okay,
So,
Yeah, budget wise, it probably shouldn't be separate.
yeah,
But budget wise, it shouldn't be separate,
Correct.
but actual, you need to keep it separate.
yeah. So,
Go 40 and 40.
I got 40 and 60
Oh,
now.
40 and 60?
40
Yeah.
and 60, yeah.
You think there's that much extra work to do with this ash in the right of ways?
why did the city of Hudson just try to budget 250 for the next 2 years?
Well, it's
That's a-
that's the city of Hudson,
Yep, I understand, but
a lot more trees.
Well, the thing is, the board has to go through all of these numbers
So,
and they're,
so,
you know, they're not gonna add to anything.
City has a lot of trees in boulevards that are their
Right.
responsibility,
Yeah.
which we won't have.
We didn't have that.
take it, Jeff. Just in actuality, Tumas would be more now because this last storm, he did a lot more
Oh,
and also,
yeah.
Think he's
River
gonna-
Valley did some that Chris had them do, so. I think,
What we're at, you're saying that 24 actual we got isn't even. And there's more coming.
yeah,
Yeah,
so,
That's
so
not done.
100,000 we're safe, I think
50-50?
For the overall.
40-60, I think.
60-40. So that would be 100,000, right?
No, probably.
So,
We had them all up.
MS4,
We got water service.
That's already set.
Yes.
yeah, that's 3 and 3. See that same.
I got 910,100. For all of the lift,
All of our-
different totals.
Yeah. Nine. Budget.
It's well, it's cheaper than the 2024 budget.
So you're at, what?
It's 100,000,
Yep.
910,100. But that's $100,000 less than the 2024 budget.
910,100, okay.
Must be missing a number somewhere.
Works for me. All right. Should be good.
Save the town money. We're increasing,
Right there.
Well,
we're increasing a whole bunch of stuff and we're still saving the town money.
well, we, you know,
Actuals look good.
I mean, basically this whole
Oh.
area here,
Oh, well, that's true.
that's all gone, so
More than that.
that was,
You're ruining my spiel.
oh, I know. Sorry. We've gone on another 4-week vacation.
Yeah.
The bonus.
Hey, I put on
I'm screwing up something somewhere.
5,095 miles,
910,
1,100.
910 slash 100
$100.
by. Yeah. And that's way cheaper than what we had, $100,000.
But
Wow.
well, now the Church Street E-Guard project, 2024 actual. We only spent 10,004 on it, and then we
Yeah.
budgeted 60. We are still lower than last year.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So,
So we're only a little bit higher than 2022 actuals.
yeah. Not too much.
Not even by, well, probably about 5% higher, which is probably not.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, it's very close to 5% higher.
In 2023 and 2024
3 and 24 because of the
road projects.
Yeah, we had the
other projects
whole
and
project.
our seal coat crack sealing was 600,000 budget last year. Which is
Okay,
300,000 this year. So. Worked out.
The easiest thing that could wreck this budget is the price of crude oil going up.
Yeah,
soon as all war breaks out in the Middle East, and it shouldn't. It will though.
yeah.
Get that Yahoo out of there.
Okay.
If we would keep our own oil and not sell it to anybody.
Okay.
else, there's that too. Ain't gonna happen, no.
There's that too.
Okay.
It all goes on the world market.
Getting down there. That's there.
Okay,
Okay, so
items for town board agenda.
there's
We had a motion.
motion to set the language
Yeah,
on 6 and then. You wanna, should we make a motion for our budget?
oh. I make a motion that we send our revised 2025 budget to the town board for consideration.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Call for adjournment.
Date,
Oh,
October
wait a minute,
1st.
wait a minute, wait a minute.
What do you
We
need?
didn't adjourn yet.
Oh. Hold on, secretary is still pondering over here.
Catching up.
Items for next Public Works Committee agenda, the regular ones, and I'm going to invite the plow vendors. Since that's October and plowing starts in potential snowplow vendors,
Snowplow vendors, okay.
Tillman Schmitz.
Spinning it to 'em.
Snowplowing the vendors. We normally do that in the fall before the season
We
starts.
just ask them questions if they got any issues.
Half the time they say no questions and they don't, or no big deal, they don't show up. We have to offer it. to them.
I'll call both of them and check on it, so.
Okay. Now, October 1st.
You can,
Okay, I make a motion to adjourn. Or did somebody do that already?
Second.
Motion made, and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
7:48 PM. So. We didn't do too bad.
No, with
Yes, we are.